Hello YouTube fans, this is the Scar Clown. Now, I'm here to talk about this game a little bit. I didn't beat it or anything like that, but I just want to get my thoughts out there for now, just in case if I didn't make a review, mainly because of the times that we're living in spiritually. So I do want to talk about this game a bit. Um, so obviously, the beginning of the story is basically this girl named Jessie. She she knows more than she is letting on, in my opinion. But mostly it's just you go and progress through the game, obviously. But you're basically trying to find your brother and what happened to you in the past. Learning more about it, and that is really it. That's how you start the beginning of the game, and then progressing through, you find out a lot of things about the astral realm and the astral plane and stuff. And this game is very, very spiritual and very enlightening of you telling that shit. I've seen reviews of people saying that, oh, it's convoluted, the story's convoluted and shit. And I'm just like, convoluted? See, this is the type of shit that I'm talking about. Like, these type of games are literally made for specific people that actually think more deeply than other people. I'm sorry. There are games that are like that, people. I'm sorry to tell you, there are games that are made like that. And the reason for that is because they're all look, there's just games that are made for spiritual people. Not to say there's not games that are made for people that just want to play Call of Duty or Final Fantasy or something like that. Even Call of Duty and Final Fantasy has some enlightenment stuff in it. All video games do. You just need to find where it is and stuff, because sometimes they might put it as an Easter egg or just something that's in the background or something that's part of the game. And this one is like part of the game. And a long time ago, I remember telling my friend that if objects have been around for like 100 years, basically, like say if it's like a chair or a phone, eventually gets a spirit, and that's something that people hear from ancient folklore, like Japanese folklore, Chinese folklore. But that shit really does happen. It's a real thing, and in a way, some of the stuff in this game shows you that. I did pass the. I didn't. I didn't beat the first boss. My friend beat the first boss by accident. So if you saw that clip of me dying and dying and dying, that was me trying to figure out how to fucking beat the guy. And then at the end of the fucking video of the first boss fight video that I made in this channel, all of a sudden it's like all good and everything like that. Yeah, it's like, oh, another player fucking played it. Well, yeah, of course, because that was my friend playing it, and he killed him off. He's like, I'm sorry, I killed him off. I didn't mean to. I'm like, that's fine. It looked really good during gameplay and stuff, so that's why I uploaded it. But that first boss fight looked creepy as fuck, and I'm just like, holy shit. But there's a lot of move sets that you get obviously progressing through the game, and yes, I'm still playing through it, so obviously I'm gonna get more and more of it. No, I'm not in the part where I can fly, but I got the telekinesis already and stuff, which is dope. And people say it's overpowered. All I have to say is it's telekinesis. If it's not overpowered, I'm sorry. And plus, there's enemies that literally can, like, probably one shot you or like two shots you and kill you. Because I seen my friend played it, and all of a sudden there's like these things that freaking they're like it's like balls in a way, but they're not balls. Ball gas basically, but they're not. All these hiss basically are really fucking cool. The way they're designs and everything like that. And this game really, look, a lot of people might disagree. That is fine. This is my preference. This is what I see from my view when I first saw this game from when my friend was playing it. I kept telling my friend, how come this game reminds me of Parasite Eve? Or how come I feel like this is like a spiritual successor to Parasite Eve? Now the thing is, again, you could disagree with me. That's fine. Um, this game obviously is not a horror game. It's a more of a thriller, and that's fine. You know, and this game is really good at being building suspense and questioning what the fuck are you in the old house basically. Um, and it does have a Metroidvania style of not gameplay, but the layout of the building basically, which is fine. Um, it doesn't show the map the way it looks basically in Metroidvanias. It's like a normal map that you see like in other video games, and you need to like, you know, um, because that's why when people was talking about like the Metrovania stuff, I was literally thinking about the map looking like that, but it doesn't. But which is fine. I'm not gonna be like, what the fuck? I'm confused here. Sometimes you do get lost and confused sometimes. Because my friend was just sitting there like, God damn it. How much you want to bet there was some stuff in those clips that you probably guys saw and you were like, go here, what are you doing, why you keep dying, you're supposed to do this, you fucking idiot. Hey, it's my first time playing it, and I did got this version because it has the DLC and all that stuff on it. Cost me like $46. To me, that is a steal, especially if you want something for a Christmas gift, I guess. But I still highly recommend this game. Really fun, and I do like how it says right here, a game, a game will be talked about for generations. And yes, I feel like this game will be talked about for generations to come. You know, even the people that don't beat it and shit, people will still talk about it, mainly because all the shit that you can do in this game. And yes, you could break environments in this game, mostly everything that you can break. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing because it's awesome gameplay and everything like that. A bad thing because of the fucking frame rate. Good lord. Like, I heard it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. Like, oh god. Sometimes you'd be like, did it did they did this on purpose that, oh, you can play it on the PS5 or the PS4 Pro and it won't have that? For example, I'm just putting that as an example. Because me and my friend were talking and I'm just like, if that happens, it's like they're telling you, oh, that's why I kind of question of the future of gaming. Is this what you really want the future of gaming? For example, if they do that, like for example, if they did make this game the way it is, just to be like, oh, if you put it on a PS4 Pro or PlayStation 5, that frame rate shit won't happen, and it's like, okay, that's fine, that's cool and all, but why does it happen to the regular PS4? Are you doing it on purpose so people can get the Pro or the PS5? It's just something to think about, you know. That's why I like to put stuff out sometimes about how these video game companies are, and it's like, come on, man, don't. If that's true, if that's 100% true, then it's like, damn, dude, you can't stop. Don't do that. For what is it? Remedy and 505 Games. Look, I got into 505 Games because they actually made Indivisible, but they're the I think they're not the producer, the people that put the game out there, and these guys made it. Remedy made this game. And there is another series of this game that connects to this game, but it's only for Xbox. I remember looking it up. I'm like, do they have a PlayStation? Nope, only on Xbox. And I'm just like, what? But this game is finally going on Xbox from what I saw. I don't know if that's new or something like that or recent. But it is going to Xbox. So if you haven't played this game and you want to play it on Xbox, go right ahead. Um, maybe it's on PC also. It's probably better on PC, the frame rate, obviously. But again, I still recommend getting this game mainly because it's so fun and so awesome, and the story is not bad. You get engaged for the story, really, and then all the stuff that you see, you get the clips and all that, kind of like Bioshock. You listen to like audio files and other and papers that you read about certain stuff that's happened around the building and stuff. It's a really, really, really good, awesome thing. They took a lot of elements from different video games and put it together, and they made a really good experience. And I still recommend playing it because it's just it is a good experience, you know. And it kind of feels eerie sometimes when you're going into the game and then you see people like float in the air to kind of distort it and shit. You'd be like, oh god. And my friend is like, shoot him. And I'm like, you know, I wasn't shooting all that much. He's like, oh, I thought you were going to keep shooting at them. And I'm like, they died and shit. And I'm like, oh, I don't think that's supposed to happen. And he was shooting the plants too. And I'm like, don't shoot the plants because he told me something about the plants or something like that. He's like, because when he was shooting at the plants, he was looking around and shit. I'm like, who else is in this game? Parasite. I mean, Parasite. You see, who else is in this game? Poison Ivy. And he started laughing and shit because it's like, what happens if you shoot the plants? And plus, I thought of it logically, like, hey, don't shoot the plants because they're actually giving you fucking air to breathe in this fucking building. Like this, no one can get out of this building. Basically, uh, it's crazy. But knowing the history of what happened in this building and stuff is really really cool. The old house, basically, and there's some clips that you might see. You be like, the fuck is this fever dream type of shit? But I love it. I fucking love it. I love creepy shit like that, man. I really do. Sometimes it might be disturbing sometimes, but in a way, in a way, I'm not saying that's the world I want to live in, but in a way, it's like it's real. It's a real thing, basically. And it is, it's a real thing. And in a spiritual enlightenment way, do I have to say it? Do you want me to say it? Fine, I'll say it a little bit. Um, they basically tell you every single move that you are going to get eventually, soon. So all the moves that she has, that Jesse has, you are going to get in the future if you're Corbin, you know? So, aka Menelin. So that's pretty dope. Obviously other games do that, like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest. Other video games have done that too. But it's really awesome to see these games and they tell you what you're going to be eventually in the future. You know, most people are like, "What are you smoking or are you taking meth?" Now, people that think like that, I have nothing to say to you because when that time comes, when it does happen, don't complain if you never got your superpowers, boo boo. All right, because you decided to talk shit to people that knew what was going to happen. You know, come on, you know. But that's it. That's how far I'm going to go with the enlightenment stuff here because you guys need to fucking play this game and use your fucking third eye to play this game because I did and they talked about so many shit in this fucking game and I just got started. And I'm just like, that's why my friend been wanting me to play this game since it first came out. Um, but I got this year, and I think this is the I think this came out this year too because it says 2020 here, but I know this came out in 2019 because I saw my friend playing it and stuff, and I told my brother-in-law I got the game, and he was like, "Oh my god, he got it because he got it too and stuff." So for a game that some people are saying that it failed, it's getting 9 out of 10 views. I mean, 9 out of 10 ratings or 8 out of 10 ratings, and people seem to like it. So all of this bullshit of like, oh, it didn't make money. Well, it's probably making it now, you know. But but again, to the reason I mentioned the frame rate is because that really makes or breaks for the player. If they keep seeing that frame rate issue, they probably are not going to finish the game, and that's a big problem. The okay, okay, company, these two companies. All right, I hope you guys are listening because please, like, I'm not gonna beg, but at least fix the frame rate because there's a lot of people around here, a lot of gamers that would not play a game just because of the frame rate. It doesn't matter how good the game is. Okay, it could be a fucking masterpiece like Last of Us One, but if it has those fucking bad frame rate issues that it has in this game, then you have to fix it. You know, you really do. You have to fix it. It's a bug in a way. You know. But most people are like, oh, the reason it does that is because it's so many stuff that you can use and stuff, and so many objects around you that can break, which is true. And I told myself that, hey, should it be? There should be a game that almost every area you can break basically with your powers and stuff. And a long time ago, I told my friend that. My friend was like, yeah, but wouldn't that fuck up the frame rate? uh This is proof of it. But at the same time, you do care that the frame rate gets off, but it doesn't happen to you so much that you kind of be like, all right, fuck this shit, you know. But when it happens, you be like, oh god, because when I first noticed it, I saw in the beginning of the game there's like letters that you can see on the TV, red letters, and at first it was like blurry and shit, and I'm just like, I can't read it, you know. Kind of remind me of PS2 graphics with the freaking font of what they use, and then it became PS4 type of graphics, and I was just like, oh, I can see. When I saw that, I was like, oh, now I know how the frame rate of what people were talking about. You know, it's just damn. And at one time, I don't know if I mentioned this in the video, but I mentioned again. I was fighting a whole bunch of villains, and I grabbed something that can explode, and I threw it to them, and then it exploded, but the frame rate went fucked up, literally fucked up. And the thing is, too, I'll say this too: when I pause the game, the frame rate just sucks. It just sucks. It stops for a moment, then it pauses. Then when you unpause it, it literally stays there, and then she like and then you want to move your character right away, but no, she like glitches out a little bit, and then you can carry on. That is what's going to happen to you every time you freaking pause. At least with this version of the game. I don't know how the original version, maybe they fixed that bug and all that, but in this one, they didn't fix it, or they didn't do anything. Now, if they did fix it in the original and they didn't fix it here, that is bad. Like, seriously bad. Like, you didn't learn from your mistakes, basically. You know? But overall, I still recommend this game. It's a highlight, and in my opinion, for just to get this game. I'm really haven't been getting a lot of PlayStation 4 games because, again, I mentioned before, to me, the PlayStation 4 will always be remembered as a game that just pumped out remakes or reboots of a franchise or just whatever it was from the or ports from the PlayStation 1 or 2 or even 3, and that is it. Where are the PlayStation 4 games that make the PlayStation 4? You know? And this to me actually does, despite the frame rate issues. But there's other games that made the PlayStation 4 also. I'll say this. I'll say this right now. Final Fantasy 15 did not. Kingdom Hearts 3 did not. All right. Right now, it's funny. At the end of the lifespan of the PlayStation 4, we're actually seeing games that are making the PlayStation 4 PlayStation 4. The fuck's wrong with you? Not this company, but Sony. The fuck's wrong with you? Like, I have the remake of Medieval, which I'm glad you remake that. Those type of remakes I don't mind. People that never probably played it or something like that, or never got a chance to play the original, that's fine. Maybe that's why some people got the Crash and Spyro trilogy. I can understand and understand that, but still, in my opinion, it doesn't look good for the PlayStation 4 when you do that. It just tells me that you just that yeah, people ask for it, but at the same time, you got to look back and be like, this is what the system is going to be known for. What's this? Because PlayStation 1, PS2, PS3 are all known from their different games. For crying out loud, PlayStation 1, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Final Fantasy 7. PS2, Shadow of the Colossus, Kingdom Hearts, Dragon Quest 8. Final Fantasy 12. You know, and with PlayStation 3, it's literally I was about to say The World Ends With You, sorry. What is it? The Last of Us, Grand Theft Auto 4, and yes, Grand Theft Auto 5, and other literally games that you can all remember and stuff like that. Even the and you could say maybe even the remakes of the Kingdom Hearts games, but I'm not going to put that there. I'll say Final Fantasy 13, despite how you feel about that game, still it came on the PlayStation 4. Assassin's Creed, and then PlayStation 3, sorry. And then when it hit on the PlayStation 4, what is it? Oh, all these remakes and reboots of franchises, and it's like, okay, where are the other games, that make the PlayStation 4? And not to say from the beginning we were getting that, but it's just every time I saw like a new game for like a PlayStation 4, all of a sudden there's like five or more remakes or reboots of a franchise that just came out from either from the PlayStation 1, 2, or 3. And I'm just like, look, I know people sometimes ask for them and shit, but again, what would the system be remembered for? At least for me, that's the PlayStation 4 will always be remembered for me as that type of system. It would never be compared to the PS3, 2, or 1. I'm sorry. Despite the graphics and all that shit, I would take all of that shit out just because of what it is, the system. Just the way the system will probably be remembered, in my opinion. You might not look at it now, but I guarantee you, 5 years time when you're playing the PlayStation 5, you'd be like, something's off here. Like, I'm getting the PlayStation 5 experience here, but the PlayStation 4 wasn't remembered for, like that. But sorry, I went a little bit more about that, but that's just me as a gamer. But sorry, I keep saying but and all that. Sorry about that. So in conclusion, if you haven't gotten this game, get it. If you want to see the clips that I uploaded just to get you a feel of what you're going to grasp and get, and if you like what you see, get it. If you don't, then it's not for you. That's fine. I still think that this game is great. You know, as of right now, from what I'm playing, I can't really give a whole rating out of it. But from what I played, I would say I give it um a 7.8 since I'm just starting. Obviously, I give it a 7.8, and the reason I probably could put it 8.8 or 8.9, but again, I haven't really beaten it, and I haven't really gotten the juicy of it yet, even though I already got like a nice chunk of it. And I'm like, there's still more meat here. I'm going to be full after this. Oh, I'm going to die with a stroke if I'm eating that big steak. But it's really cool, and I still again recommend it. They have all the DLC in here, you know. And one thing too, I want to say this before I go, guys. The people that play this game and beat it already, how did you feel when you got the cat ears? I just want to say this. Why we do this? Just to suffer. So when my friend told me about the story about the cats and shit, I'm just like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Maybe it's worth it when you beat the game and you can do it later, but oh god, like it still doesn't sound like it's worth it. That's just me, man. You can make her sexy if you want to, you know, Jesse, but at the same time, with those cat ears, really, is it really worth it? Game, is it really worth it? And then when I saw all the cat things that surrounded when he showed me the picture of it, I literally was like, "Do you have to get all those cats?" And he's like, "No, I would have never done this." I'm like, "Yeah, I would have never done this either." There's only like a small portion of cats you get, but once you get the cat ears, they show a whole bunch of fucking cats and shit, and I'm just like, "That's a lot of meows. That's a lot of meows." That's a little spoiler if you haven't played the game. I'm sorry, but that's probably like a side thing. Anyways, it's probably not part of the main story. I hope not. But if it is, hey, I'm not gonna complain about it and shit. But again, when you're learning your abilities in this game, it's actually pretty cool. You go to this like astro realm place, and then everything's all like bricks and everything like that, stones. It reminds me literally you're inside a fucking cube, man. It literally reminds me of that, man. It just does. And going back to me talking about it reminds me of Parasite Eve. It just does. Again, you can disagree with me. Go ahead, but every time I see this game, the way it plays, the way the enemies sometimes look, I'm all like, kind of reminds me of Parasite Eve, you know. And hey, if I put this right next to Parasite Eve, I bet you anything they will have a good conversation. Just saying, you know. They might be like, hey, we're kind of similar, but we're still different. We're not so similar that people are gonna be like, is this like Parasite Eve? And it's like, no, but hey, if it reminds you of Parasite Eve, then that's fine. And it does. It actually does remind me of Parasite Eve a little bit. In what um before I go to what got me more engaged is that there's actually boss fights here, and I'm just like, holy shit! Because when I was seeing my friend playing it, he mentioned boss fights. I'm like, boss fights? Doesn't look like this game will actually have boss fights the way it looks. But hey, you know. But that's it. Tell me what you guys think about this game. If you played it or if you beat it or you're just playing it. So, and do you agree with some of the stuff that I said? So, I'll see you guys later.